We have the latest news going on at Northwestern.
Keep it here. Ranger News starts now.
Live on the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, this is Ranger 7.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jordan McLemore.
And I'm Bruce Wright.
The Northwestern Theater held open auditions Wednesday, March 25th for a series of student-directed short plays. These will be shown on the Harrod Hall stage April 17th and 18th. The students that will be directing these 10-minute shows are Taylor Morris, Tracy Miza, Trenton Judd, Michelle Pinner, and Kimberly Wiest, M.A., M.F.A. For more information on the performances, contact Kimberly Wiest at 580-327-8462 or at kkwiest@nwosu.edu.
Northwestern Oklahoma State University's fall 2015 enrollment begins today, and summer enrollment classes are underway. Classes for the summer semester begin on June 1st and for the fall semester on August 17th. All students are encouraged to enroll right away before classes close. Printed copies of the course schedules are available at all of Northwestern's campuses, and PDF versions of the booklets are located at Northwestern's website at www.nwosu.edu/course-schedules. At the top of that web page is the link to updated course schedules that will allow the user to find courses in all programs in a drop-down link format. The location will keep everyone aware of what courses are closed or canceled, or if any changes have been made to the course times. Locations or instructors. All students must obtain a class schedule and enrollment form, have the form signed by an advisor, and process the form at the registrar's office. Currently enrolled graduate and undergraduate students pre-approved by their academic advisors may enroll online at the registrar's office in Harrod Hall on the first floor. New students, both transfer and first-time students, and those returning after being out at least one semester, must enroll in the registrar's office. Northwestern offers several scholarships opportunities for transfers, continuing, and first-time students. A number of participation scholarships are also given in areas such as band, choir, theater, cheerleading, dance, and campus media. Recommendations for these awards usually come from the university department heads. Athletic scholarships are awarded through the athletic department. For more information about scholarship opportunities and scholarship application forms, please visit www.nwosu.edu/scholarships. Calling all Northwestern students. If you are looking for a place to study and have a good time, check out Club Alternative in downtown Alva on the square at 405 College Avenue. Not only do they have places to focus on your schoolwork, but they also have lots of activities like basketball, ping pong, air hockey, foosball, Xbox, the Wii, satellite TV, and they even have free Wi-Fi. And if you're looking for any refreshments, you can order a Frappuccino or a latte. They're open Thursday nights from 7 to 11 p.m. Make sure to stop by and check it out. Up next, we'll have Adriana give us an update on Ranger sports.
Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Nice. No! Come on! Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back, Ranger sports fans. I'm Adriana Becerra.
And I'm Caitlin Ball.
The women's rodeo team split second and third, while the men's team came in sixth at the Fort Scott Community College Rodeo. Northwestern was represented in the short round by 4 cowgirls and 4 cowboys. William Wayne team roped with Connor Osborne of Connors and finished the weekend splitting 7th and 8th. The other 3 cowboys came back to the short round and steer wrestling. Stephen Culling finished his weekend 3rd overall, Ty Beatty followed right behind Culling, finishing 4th, and Chase Lako took home 5th overall. Northwestern was represented in each of the ladies' events in the short round. In breakaway roping, Cassie Woodward finished her weekend splitting 6th and 7th. Paige Winnick came home in 8th overall in barrel racing. Lauren Barnes and Shayna Miller made it back to the short rounds in goat tying. Barnes finished the weekend 3rd overall, and Miller claimed 4th. The Rangers' next rodeo is at Southwestern Oklahoma State University, April 9th through the 11th.
The Lady Rangers softball team had a series over spring break with Henderson State for the first time in this season, and the Reddies were ready for the Rangers, taking both games 5-1 and 3-0. Shelby Anderson and Alora Miller were the 2 starters, but struggled, giving up a combined 15 hits and 8 runs. Northwestern hitters didn't have it either, with the best hitting performance being .333 for the 2 games combined. The second day of the series was more of the same as the Reddies took down the Rangers in both games 4-1 in Game 1 and 8-5 in Game 2. Jordan Haya, Shelby Anderson, and Lindsay Thorntonson were bright sports for Northwestern in the second doubleheader, all hitting over 400 for the day. Up next for the Rangers are rival Bulldogs of Southwestern. For more information, visit riderangersride.com.
Northwestern's baseball team took a business trip down to Texas during spring break to face a couple non-conference opponents. The first opponent the Rangers faced was Arlington Baptist, who they would split the doubleheader with. The next day, they matched up against Dallas Christian and split the series with them as well. Rangers then headed to Bethany, Oklahoma to take on Southern Nazarene. The first game of the series was a big one for the Rangers. Matthew Bickford would be on the mound for all 9 innings and would pitch a complete shutout. In Game 2 of the series, the Rangers would take Snood to 10 innings and eventually come away with a 5-4 victory. The Rangers would fall in Game 3, but at the plate, the Red and Black were led by Jason Freeman, who finished the day going 2 for 3 with 1 run scored, 1 stolen base, 3 RBIs, and a home run. Northwestern will head to Ouachita Baptist this weekend for a 3-game series starting Friday at 2 p.m.
The Northwestern Oklahoma State women's golf team returns to action this week, where they will compete in the Lion Classic today and tomorrow at the Hardscramble Community College in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The Lady Rangers will be competing at the Hardscramble Country Club golf course, which has hosted up to 13 PGA nationwide tour events. Their last competition was on March 10th at the Diffie Open in Oklahoma City. Chanel Hensley will be the lone senior representing the Rangers, as they have 4 freshmen competing. The Rangers are coming to an end of their season, as they will compete in the first federal invite on April 6th through the 7th, and then will get prepared for the Great American Conference Championships April 19th through the 21st.
Ranger sports fans, ESPNU Campus Connection national correspondent Travis Harmon Smith hosted episode 3 of his television series For the Love of the Game, featuring the Lady Ranger basketball team and head coach Eric Bozeman. For the Love of the Game starts now.
Pond5.com.
Ranger sports fans, welcome to another edition of For the Love of the Game. I'm your host, Travis Harmon Smith, and I'm here with Northwestern Oklahoma State women's basketball head coach, Mr. Eric Bozeman. How you doing today, Coach?
Always a pleasure interviewing with you, Travis. I'm doing great.
I'm glad you can join us today on For the Love of the Game. Essentially, I've just really been curious about the compassion and love that you share with your ladies in women's basketball. Essentially, you weren't a women's basketball coach early on in your career, going back to the history of you coaching men's collegiate basketball. Where did the start come for you in women's basketball, and how did you focus on that and have the compassion to start coaching women's basketball versus men's?
Well, obviously, and when you're coaching basketball, you go where there's an opportunity, and Northwestern provided me an opportunity, and certainly my Lord and Savior leads my life, and He led me here to Alva, Oklahoma. But my passion for the game doesn't just require me to coach guys. It's also allowed me to coach girls, and I've been pleasantly surprised that I love it as much as I do, and that I love coaching young ladies as much as I do. Initially, I kind of got into this thinking, well, I'll give it a year or two. Well, now I'm in it full-fledged. I have no desire to go back and coach guys. I have a great love for coaching young ladies.
So with coaching ladies, and I know it's a differentiation between coaching men's basketball and women's basketball, briefly just describe the teaching methods that differentiates between coaching men's basketball versus coaching women's basketball.
Well, for me, there's not a lot of difference because I treat the young ladies just like I treated the young men. Certainly, they're a different gender, and certainly they require different things. The ladies are a little bit more emotional. The guys are a little bit more selfish. The ladies play a little bit more of a team game. The guys play a little bit more of an individual game. So from that standpoint, it's been a learning experience for me. But at the same time, basketball is basketball. It doesn't matter who you're coaching, where you're coaching, or what gender you're coaching. And I think the ladies' game, I mean, we had some very exciting games this year. I think the ladies' game is starting to be a very exciting game to watch.
It really is. And the one thing that I always notice is that coaching is a different business versus any other position in the business market. Just kind of briefly explain the essentials that goes into actually coaching, and how coaching is different from any other position that we see currently in the societal culture that people go in to be a business professional.
Yeah. Well, when you're coaching, you have to. It's almost like you can compare it to teaching in a classroom. This is my classroom out here on this basketball court. Or you can compare it to running a business, or you can compare it to leading a military unit. The thing that requires the most time is trying to get everybody to blend together. It's very difficult in this day and time to get people to be selfless. In other words, I mean to give of themselves, to give up something. And we tell them all every year, you got to take your heart out and throw it in the pile. Everybody's got to be for the team. The team has to come first. And when you can get everybody to do that and get everybody on the same page, your chances of having a successful team, it just improves greatly. Now, that's a very difficult thing to do because you're going against a societal norm these days, which is society teaches you to be for you. And we're trying to teach you to be for the team first.
Now, does it take a high level of compassion, so to speak, to lead an athletic program to that desirable, successful championship hardware that a lot of coaches dream about? Or what type of compassion does it take to lead an athletic program to that championship success mechanism?
I think with anything that you decide to do in life, if you're compassionate about it, and if you've got a love for it, you're probably going to be successful at it. I like to say I've had 26 one-year contracts. I'm completing my 25th consecutive year as a collegiate basketball coach. That's what I've always wanted to do, and it's not something that's stable. I don't advise many people to go into it. I certainly didn't advise my oldest son to go into it, and he's doing it.
Right.
But if you don't love it, and if you're not compassionate about it, just like anything else, you're not going to be successful at it. Now, building a championship team, everybody's got different philosophies how to do that, just like people have different management styles. I'm pretty democratic in what I do. I believe in everybody buying in, everybody pitching in, everybody putting something in, and that way everybody gets something out. It's easy if you want to be a coach to just make somebody do this and make somebody do that and make somebody do that. Just like it's easy to do that if you're managing a company or if you're running an athletic department. People that are under you are going to do what you tell them to do. I just believe that it's a lot better when you ask people to do things and then they get it done for you because they want to. They're probably going to do a better job because they want to do it in comparison to you making them do it. So that's kind of what my philosophy is, and I certainly believe I'm an old school guy. You know, my girls don't care what I know unless they know I care. So they know I care about them, but at the same time, I'm a taskmaster, I'm a disciplinarian. I'm not an easy guy to play for because I'm going against what society teaches you and a lot of times what your parents teach you, just to go do you. And we're asking you to go do team, to go be team. And that's a difficult thing.
Just to add to what you just said about incorporating team work and what goes into building a team, what inspires you to teach your ladies on the characteristic side, to make them better young ladies once they make the transition to the societal culture after their basketball careers come to closure? What is being taught from a teaching mechanism within practices, within team meetings? You know, what is being taught to make athletes, preferably women's basketball, what is being taught to make these ladies better people outside of just being a random basketball player? What is being taught?
Oh, there's a variety of things. First off, responsibility. You have to be responsible. You have to be responsible to your teammates. You have to be responsible to this university. You have to carry yourself in the right manner. You have to make the grades so that you can continue to play, so you won't let our team down. You have to go by a curfew that we establish. And then we bring it on to the court. You have to play your role. When you get out in life, you're going to have to play a role depending on whether you're running a business, working within a business, whether you're teaching school, regardless of what you're doing, you have a role to play. If you are a teacher, then you cannot be the principal. If you're a salesman, then you're not managing the company. So we teach them those type of characteristics. You can't be late for anything we do. You better make curfew. You better go to class. You had better not be late for class. You have to play your role on the court. If you're a driver, you need to drive. If you're a three-point shooter, you need to shoot the three. If you're a rebounder, then that's what you need to do. So, and then we teach them that they have to be responsible for one another. You know, if your teammate is out doing something that she's not supposed to do, before it gets to me, you need to handle it. And we have captains that we name, and they share a heightened level of responsibility than just what the other players are. So our players have to go through them to get to the coaches. Not that our doors aren't open, but when you have captains, they assume the leadership responsibility. So from a responsibility standpoint and a character development standpoint, and we want them to have respect for everybody. And athletics is such a special way of doing it because you have to deal with people who are different than you. You can't just deal with people who are just like you. Everybody's different. We have different ethnic groups. We got people from the city. We have people from rural areas, and they all have to work together and get along going toward one common goal. And that's the beauty of athletics, and that's always been special for me.
Coach, explain just a few intangibles that takes away from family time, personal foundation time. What goes into coaching that may take away from personal time, personal obligations that you may have set for yourself that you can't do when you're around, team activity and just the whole coaching state? Explain that.
Well, if you're coaching and you're going to do it right, it's you're taking 15 kids from 15 different families, and they require your time and energy, and it's almost like having 15 children. We run our club like it's a family, and that's what we believe. So we add my wife and my kids. We just add 15 family members. That's what we do, and certainly it takes away from my family. We've been doing it for a long time, but my wife will tell you this, and she jokingly says it, from about November until March, she's a widow because I'm not there. I mean, I'm coming in and I'm basically watching film or going to sleep. You have very little family time. I'm fortunate that I had 2 boys and they always spent time with me in the gym, and I'm very fortunate that I have a great, loving wife that understands what I'm trying to do. and she sacrificed so much to be a part of it. So I don't encourage people to go into this. This is a very hard life, and it's a tough life, but at the same time, it's a very rewarding life. And I've always said this, and I say this to my kids and certainly all my players, and to anybody that listens, and you're going to get out of something what you put into it. And we put a lot into this, and therefore we've gotten a lot out of it. So we've been very blessed to have really good teams. We've been very blessed to really have great people. But that's what we try and recruit. Everywhere we've been, we've tried to recruit great people. And certainly with this Northwestern team that we have now, we've got great people on our team. We've got great young ladies that are really selfless, and they're learning and growing, and it's a wonderful thing when they walk across that stage and it culminates everything that we've tried to do and everything that they're trying to do.
Well, Coach Bozeman, I'm happy that I could join you and sit down with you today to discuss your insight and your compassion and love for the game of basketball, and essentially what you're teaching your ladies, and from a more attribute perspective to make them better individuals outside of being an athlete. I really appreciate you for joining us today on For the Love of the Game, and hopefully we can find out more about you, and hopefully the ladies will buy into your philosophy and they'll become better people.
Well, I think they will, and some of them already have, and it's always a pleasure to interview with you. I think you do a great job here, and I think you've got a very bright future in this business.
Thank you, Coach. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Travis.
Ranger sports fans, it's good that we can sit down with Coach Bozeman on today's episode of For the Love of the Game. I'm Travis Harmon Smith. Thank you for joining me on this edition of For the Love of the Game.
A familiar face will be taking over the men's basketball program at Northwestern. Brad Franz was introduced as the new men's basketball coach. NWTV reporter Bruce Wright has more.
Northwestern's men's basketball is a storied program with 13 conference championships, 9 All-Americans, and many national tournament appearances. The Rangers will be getting a new look with a familiar face next season, as the team recently released head coach of the past 9 years, Andrew Brown.
He will be committed to competitive teams and will be committed to making sure that his players graduate. He has a passion for the game, unbelievable contacts in the world of basketball, and I also know that no one will outwork him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next head basketball coach at Northwestern Oklahoma State University, Brad Franz.
Say that I'm excited to be here and have a chance to lead these young men forward with integrity and strong guidance, and compete for championships, not only on the court but in the classroom. So I'm very, very excited from there.
Coach Franz comes full circle coming back to Northwestern after working here before with both the men's basketball program and also in an administrative role. The Rangers will only be losing one senior, so Franz will have a strong core to start when he begins.
Right away when I came in to look at this position and look at the opportunity to come back to Northwestern, I was the high character of the basketball team. The members of this core unit that are coming back, I've been impressed with. When I met with them, they had tremendous questions for me. They had the right questions for me. As I looked at anything, I looked at what kind of questions they were going to ask me and how we were going to move forward as a program that graduated students first and foremost, help them grow as young men to be successful as they go on to future endeavors in their career after basketball, and then competing nightly on the hardwood for each win that we all know is hard to come by.
For more information about the future of the men's basketball program under Brad Franz, visit RideRangersRide.com.
That's it, Ranger Sports.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you after the break.
I don't know what the fuck.
Northwestern and Woods County District 2 were awarded with a Regents Business Partnership Excellence Award by the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education last week. The university and the county were recognized for their partnership in the construction project of the new press box at the football stadium. District 2 provided the use of its equipment, manpower, and supplies last summer to prepare the foundation for the structure, saving the university thousands of dollars. University President Dr. Janet Cunningham said that this partnership is an outstanding example of two public entities working together to make the community a better place to live, and that Northwestern is grateful for the efforts of the county to serve the school and its students. Woods County also provides Northwestern with use of its facilities for special events, including the courthouse lawn for homecoming and Bahama Breakaway, and the fairgrounds for the annual Northwestern Ranger Rodeo.
Northwestern's Institute for Citizenship Studies presented certain items to Washington Elementary School in Alva. The items were presented at a school-wide assembly. The first item was an American flag flown over George Washington's personal residence. A framed certificate authenticating the flag also came alongside it. A George Washington celebration kit was also handed out. The kit is designed to help elementary students understand and appreciate Washington's invaluable service toward the United States. Associate Professor of History Dr. Eric Schmaltz and Dr. Aaron Mason were among the instructors present to hand out the gifts from the Institute for Citizenship Studies. The Institute's mission is to spread knowledge about government and political affairs of American citizens.
There will be a fraternity info meeting on the 1st of April at 6:30 at the Ranger Perk. The Ranger Perk is connected to the Alva campus cafeteria. If you are male with good grades and enjoy in meeting new people, a fraternity is for you. There are many benefits to joining Greek life, such as networking, opportunities, study skills, and social events. You can make history at Northwestern by becoming a founding member of the only existing fraternity.
A family health fair will be held on Northwestern's Enid campus this Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Nurses will be there to measure blood pressure and temperature along with other things. Be sure to check it out for more information and to get information on how to keep yourself healthy.
There are some touchy subjects in the country today that people of our society usually are afraid to talk about, and racism is one of the big ones. Over the weekend, a racially motivated video went viral at the University of Oklahoma when members of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity were recorded chanting racial slurs on a bus trip. After the video went viral, the university immediately took action within hours and shut down the fraternity. The University of Oklahoma is one of the most popularly known universities in the country for many different reasons, but this incident could be very damaging to both athletic recruitment and enrollment due to its nature. University President David Boren has since expelled 2 students who played the leadership role in the chant. I have acted today to expel 2 students who were leaders in the singing of a racist chant, Boren said in a tweet that linked to the statement. When the identities of others involved are confirmed, they will face appropriate disciplinary action, he said. The video was shot by a small and quiet equal rights group on campus and immediately went viral. The University of Oklahoma has an enrollment of about 30,000 students, with 5% being African American. SAE National Headquarters released a statement assuring the video does not reflect its 15,000 members nationwide. Have some interesting or exciting news you would want us to know about? Send us a message on Facebook or email Allison Zimmerman at aazimmerman@nwosu.edu. We would love to hear your stories.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us on Ranger News.